Good morning, students. Today, I am going to discuss about a particular concept from the fourth chapter, that is the perfect competitive market. Perfect competitive market. Before we start the concept, we should know about the meaning of market. What do you mean by market? See, in general, we can say market is a place through in which the buyers and sellers are meet to buy and sell commodities. To buy and sell commodities. See, when you go to the market, when you know about the meaning of market, then a question is just what are the essential features? Essential features of a market. There are three essential features. One is a commodity. A particular place is said to be a market which should possess or which should have a commodity. Then the second feature is potential buyers and sellers. Potential buyers and sellers. So a commodity, and the commodity should have buyers and sellers, that is demand and supply. Demand and supply. And third point is price control. Price control. That means a particular price at which the buyers are intended to buy and sellers are intended to sell the commodity. Then last is the mode of sale, or we can also say place through which we can sell the commodity, through which we can buy the commodity, or a place. So in the ancient days we can say it is a place. It is a place. But nowadays the online selling, online purchase, online booking are available. That's why the mode of sale, we mentioned mode of sale. These are the essential features of a market. That will be as per 2 marks. What are the essentials of a market? So one is a commodity, potential buyers and sellers, price control, and mode of sale or a place. So then come to the forms of market. Come to the forms of market. See, on which basis we can classify the market? Observe that we can classify the market in 3 ways or in 3 phases. See, market can be classified in 3 phases or 3 stages or 3 ways. One is on the basis of time. On the basis of time, we can classify the market. Second is on the basis of geographical location. Geographical area, we can classify the market. Okay, on the basis of geographical location, we can classify the market. And the third is on the basis of level of competition. Level of competition, we can classify the market. See, the market can be classified in 3 ways. One is on the basis of time, on the basis of geographical area, and on the basis of level of competition. First, on the basis of time. On the basis of time, we can classify the market. We can classify the market of a commodities into three types. One is very short period market. Very short period market. Then short period market. And another one is long period. Long period market. Observe that on the basis of time, we can classify into very short period, and long period. See, very short period market. See, the very short period market is made for the perishable goods. This means which have short lifespan. For example, flowers, meat, flowers, meat, milk, etc. They have very short period market because they have short lifespan. Then another one is short period market. So short period market means they are not perishable goods. They can be stored for a certain period of time. We can store for a certain period of time. That market is called short period market. Then third one is long period market. Long period means those goods which have long lifespan. Which have long lifespan. We can also say durable goods. Consumer durable goods like vehicles, then furniture, okay, clothes, etc., which have long life period. They can be stored for long period. So that's why they are considered under long period market. This is one part on the basis of time. Come to a geographical location. On the basis of geographical location, we can classify the market into three types. One is domestic market. Domestic, or we can also say local. Local market. And second one is national market. And last one is international market. So domestic market, national market, international market. See, geographical area on the basis of boundary. On the basis of boundary, we can classify the market into three types. One is domestic market, national market, and international market. Domestic market, I already told, local market, that is called village market or taluk level or village level, they consider under domestic market. National market. So national market means among different states within a nation. Among different states within a nation, that is within a country, that is called national market. And another one is international market. That means trade among different nations. Trade among different nations, which we can buy and sell commodities from other countries with the other countries. That is we consider under international market. This is second type. And when we go to the third type, that is level of competition. Competition, because there is no a single seller for a commodity to produce and sell a commodity. That's why the competition level is important. On the basis of competition level, we can also classify the market. Let me see. On the basis of level of competition. See, on the basis of level of competition, we can classify it into primarily into two types. One is competition among sellers. Competition among sellers. And another one is competition among buyers. Competition among buyers. See, competition among sellers. The level of competition can be split into competition among sellers, competition among buyers. So, first one is competition among sellers. So, the competition among sellers has two types. One is perfect competition. Perfect competition. Perfect competitive market. It is a perfect competitive market. It is also called pure competition. Okay. The second one is imperfect. Imperfect competition. Okay. See, I will give you some information that what is the difference between perfect competition and imperfect competition. What is the difference? The major difference is in perfect competitive market, all sellers have equal opportunity to get profit, and that means the competition in this market, the competition is pure. It is pure. That's why it is called pure competitive market. But in imperfect competitive market, there is a difference. There is a difference to get the profit among sellers. Okay. So in imperfect competition, we can see four types of market situations. In imperfect, four types of market situation. One is monopoly. Monopoly market. And second one is monopolistic competition. Monopoly market monopolistic competition. Then third type is oligopoly market. Oligopoly market, and the another type is duopoly. Duopoly market. Okay, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, duopoly. Okay, I will just briefly explain the meaning of these four markets. See, monopoly means single seller. There is only a single seller. Monopolistic competition means there are large number of small firms. There are large number of small firms. In oligopoly market, which is opposite to monopoly, monopolistic. So in oligopoly, there is a small number of large firms. You can also say few firms. Oligopoly market is also called few firm market. Then duopoly. Duo means two sellers market. Okay. Once again, I will explain. Monopoly, single seller. Monopolistic competition, large number of small firms. Oligopoly market, few firms, or we can also say small number of large firms. Duopoly market, two firms, that is two sellers market. Okay, this is imperfect competitive market. And when we come to the competition among buyers, there are mainly three types. One is monopsony market, that is single buyer. Then second one is oligopsony market, that means few buyers. Okay, then last one is duopsony market, that means duo means two buyers market. Monopsony, single buyer. Oligopsony, few buyers. Duopsony, two buyers. Okay, let me start from the perfect competitive market. Perfect competitive market. Perfect competitive market. Okay, so what do you mean by perfect competitive market? What are the main features of this market? Let me see. See, perfect competition, I already told, this market is also called as pure competitive market. Pure competitive market or pure competition. Okay, so what is perfect competitive market? See, the perfect competitive market is a market situation in which there is a large number of buyers and sellers, buying and selling homogeneous commodity and a single price ruling, that is at same price. In simple, we can say the perfect competitive market means a market situation of large number of buyers and sellers. Producing, selling and buying the homogeneous commodity at uniform price. See, in perfect competitive market, the number of firms are more. Not only firms, but also the buyers. Buyers are also more here. And the important thing is all sellers are selling their commodity at a single price. This is one feature, single price. Okay, and in perfect competitive market, no firm will try to influence on the market. That means demand and supply, because the price of a commodity in this market is not determined by the seller. It is determined by the demand and supply. Of the commodity. It depends on demand and supply. If the demand is more and supply is less, then what happens? The price may rises. If the demand is less, the supply is more, then the price may decreases. The price is determined by the demand and supply. They are called, demand and supply are called market forces. Market forces. Okay. Then what are the examples? Examples for perfect competitive market, we can see oil manufacturing companies. Oil manufacturing. Okay. Then agriculture crops like maize manufacturing, maize, agriculture crops, maize and paddy, etc. And also those industries which have more impact on economy, they are comes under perfect competitive market. Then coal, petroleum oil, then fabrics, then what is called agriculture crops, etc. Okay, let me see the features of perfect competitive market. Features. What are the features or characteristics of perfect competitive market? Features. The first feature is large number of buyers and sellers. Large number of buyers and sellers. Second point. So first point, let me explain. The large number of buyers and sellers. So in perfect competitive market, the number of buyers and sellers are more. Number of buyers and sellers are more, and also they have the sellers have equal opportunity to get profit because of single price. The second feature is homogeneous commodity. Homogeneous goods. Homogeneous goods. See, in perfect competitive market, all commodities produced by the firms are homogeneous. Homogeneous means same kind of nature. There is no difference in color, size, taste. Color, size and taste. They are homogeneous commodity. They are producing homogeneous, which have same kind of nature. Third point is single price. Okay. The third feature is single price. Okay. See, in perfect competitive market, all firms have to sell their product at same price. We can purchase from one seller, the price is same. With the another seller is also same. There is no difference between the price of different firms because the price is determined by market forces. Here the price is determined by market forces, that is demand. I already told demand and supply. Demand and supply of the commodity. Then fourth point is price taker. In perfect competitive market, the sellers are price takers. They are not price makers. Because they are the price takers because they have to sell their output to the buyers at a price which is fixed by the market force. That is demand and supply. That's why they are the price takers. Fifth one is perfect knowledge. All firms have a perfect or complete knowledge about the market condition. In this market, all firms have complete knowledge about the demand and supply of that commodity in the market. That's why I say perfect knowledge. Then sixth one is no transportation cost. So in perfect competitive market, the transportation cost is not added with the price. If you purchase the commodity in a particular place at the price, you can also purchase the same commodity in another place the same price. That's why the transportation cost is not added in this market. Then the nature of the demand curve is perfectly elastic demand curve. Perfectly elastic demand curve. In this market, the firms face perfectly elastic demand curve. That means the percentage of change in demand, that is quantity of demand, should be more than the percentage of change in its price. It means the nature of the demand curve is, this is the demand curve nature. The nature of the demand curve is slope downwards from the beginning. Demand, QD, price. The nature of the demand curve is downward sloping. So, in perfect competitive market, the firms have to face a downward sloping demand curve. These are all the important features of perfect competitive market. I hope you all understand the concept. If you have any doubts or questions, you can mention in the comment box. I will try to answer. Thank you, Nadal.